before we do get started, as always, every single class that I do, no matter what, no matter where, everyone's got to blow their nose first. All right, so go ahead and give your nose a little bit toot because we're going to be breathing through our nose. So we'd like the nasal passages to be as clear as we can make them. So a little bit of love to the nose, and then we'll get started. Have a little bit of water with you. I'm on a yoga mat. If you're wearing shoes, try and take your shoes off. And have a little bit of water with you for hydration. And for those of you that are joining online, welcome to AIM Golf Academy. I'm Lou, and I'm going to guide you through this mobility and movement class, a little bit of strength work as well today. This has been an ongoing series. We've got these recorded, and they're online. I believe, Brendan, you've made the links accessible to everybody. I'm going to show you some interesting movements today. I work with a couple of coaches here in the city that are really quite next level. And one of the things that we're discovering more and more and more is just regardless of really what you're into, I work quite a bit with mixed martial arts practitioners, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in particular. And if you've ever seen some of the UFC fighting or any of this type of really interesting martial arts, they're getting into the most awkward positions that you can possibly imagine. So it's one thing for us to get into awkward movements, dynamic type movements. It's another thing to maintain our strength and function and form and really confidence in our body to be able to move in and out of these positions. So a golf swing is no different. It is a very dynamic, extreme series of body movements that are all designed to happen in a very quick, very fast segment of time. So in a very short period, you will do the full range of motion. So what we're trying to do in these movement classes, a couple things, of course, getting a little bit more acquainted with our body, learning how to breathe, being mindful of movement and how these sensations feel in our body. We're trying to be as I don't want to use flexible, but as mobile, as much mobility through entire ranges of motion, and then be strong through those entire ranges of motion. And that's really what we're trying to get to. So if some of these movements feel awkward to you, that's perfect because that's how they are designed to feel awkward. And over the course of repeated movements like this, these awkward movements will normalize and become a little bit more understanding to the brain-body connection. And then it just works much, much better whenever it is that we're doing the athletic sport that we happen to be tapped into. In this particular course, of course, our focus is on golf. Think about isolation, activation, and integration. So we're isolating body parts. Typically, for a lot of us, our bodies just tend to stick. Everything kind of sticks together because everything is together inside of our body. And we're trying to create separation so that we can move body parts and pieces independently really well. And then they all come together collectively to work really, really well. And that's just kind of how it works. All right, to get started, you're going to stand up nice and tall wherever you happen to be and have your arms by your side. We're going to do some light cars to start off with, controlled articulating rotations. Then I'm going to move in through some hip work today. So we're going to get into a little bit deeper stuff with the hips today, and that should help most of us with mobility. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, have your arms by your side. But first, let's lift the shoulders all the way up to those earlobes. Tuck your head down. Take a big breath. And then as you exhale, just calm your shoulders down. So create the separation between the shoulders and the earlobes. And let's just tap into some slow breathing. Breathe in through your nose. Hold that breath. And then you can open your mouth and exhale. Full exhale. Let's repeat a few more times. Breathe in through your nose. And fully exhale. Now this time, bring your right hand onto your belly, left hand onto your chest. When you breathe in, keep your left hand up here calm. You want this hand moving. So as the breath comes in, we're engaging diaphragmatic breathing. That is how we're designed to breathe, and also designed to breathe in through the nose, not through the mouth. The mouth is just an accessory. The nose is how we're designed to breathe. So breathing out nice and slow. You're going to take the arms down. And let's just move a little bit through the neck. Turn your head to the left side. Turn your head, exaggerate the movement. Good stuff. Back to center, lift your head up. Up, up, up. and then look forward and then look down. Put your chin into your chest. Really stretch out the back of the neck. Come back to center position. Turn your head to that right side. Go as far as you can go. Good stuff. And go back to center. Turn your head to the left side. Drop the ear to shoulder as you peek up to the ceiling. Do a head circle very slowly, half speed. Look up at the ceiling. Gaze all the way around to the right side and then down to the floor. Drag your chin across your chest. Think about a circular motion as you move your head all the way through this circular motion as best as you can. Make sure you're breathing. Big breath in, big breath out. Eyes can stay open or closed. And do the last one. So about 3 or so. And then you're going to come back over to that right side. Drop the ear to shoulder. Look up. All the way around. Nice big circle. So I'm doing 3. Good stuff. And then you're going to come back to center position. All right, I'm going to show you a very interesting stretch for the neck here. A lot of you are familiar with this little tug. I teach it as well, where we just drop the ear down, give the head a little bit of a tug. You can take the right arm behind you. Let's do that. Right arm behind you. Not too much on the tension level here, maybe about a 4 or 5 or so out of 10. Then look down. Look through the underarm on the left side. Release the tension, come back to center and switch to the other side. Left arm tucks, turn your head to the right, hold on to the side of your head, and then just drop the ear down to shoulder. So you're just accentuating what we just did, but we're giving it a little bit more of a stretch here. Left shoulder stays down. Now I'm going to start to look down. It's really good if you carry tension in your neck, excuse me, and then underneath the right arm. Release the tension and then bring your head up. I'm going to show you one more, and this is really kind of cool. This is a great way to extend this entire tissue here. Take the right hand, just bring it on top of the shoulder here. You want to feel this muscle right on top of the collarbone. Supraspinatus right here. Now I'm pressing down in this direction. So with my 2 fingers or 3 fingers, I'm pressing the muscle down and towards the outside of the shoulder. Then I'm going to turn the head to the right. And I'm going to take the fingers here on the chin, on the left side of the chin, and press to the right. And then head down and head up. Head down, head up. Do a couple of these. Release tension, and we switch into the other side. Take your left fingertips, put it on that muscle right on top here. So this is the trapezius or the supraspinatus, they're kind of both in this space here. You're going to press down and away toward the shoulder, look away to the left, take the hand to the chin and press the chin to the left as you press your fingers here to the right. And then you look up a little and look down a little. Up and down. This is super good if you carry tension in your neck. And then release the tension. And come back to center position. I really feel that quite a bit. That's really, really good stuff. Okay, let's move into the fingertips. You're going to lift your arms up, and we're going to just move through the fingers, a little light finger movement, any direction. If your shoulders start to get a little bit, or the arms get a little bit heavy, the shoulders start to creep up. So try and keep those shoulders down. Let's make fists and then roll through the wrists. Try and isolate. Remember, isolation, activation, then integration. So you go in, out, up, and down. Do it really slow. And then extension of the right hand. Hold on to the fingertips and draw the fingers back a little bit. This is stretching the forearms on the bottom of the right arm. About 15, 20 seconds, nice little stretch. And then flexion. hold on to the hand, and then pull back a little bit. This can be quite intense, but super good. If you're on computers a lot, this is really good to avoid any issues with the wrists. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And if you are on your computer a lot, try and do this 2-3 times a day. One more time, extension. About 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds on your own. We don't have a lot of time here, but on your own, you can do this much longer. Okay, back down for flexion. And release, and we're going to do the other side. So left arm, extension. Draw the fingers back, not too much on the tension level. All of these should be around a 4 or 5. 10 being the most, this is 4 or 5, and it should be totally good. Yeah, about 15, 20 seconds. And into flexion. And if you cramp up at any of these, just let it go, shake it out, and then come right back to it. Do this a few times, and you won't be into any cramps. So cramping is pretty common. Okay, flexion, one more time. Good stuff, and drop the arms down. All right, we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. Now, shoulder shrugs, depending on your body type, I do this a lot, but I used to be all gummed up, so everything kind of moved. I want just the arms moving through the shoulder socket. So I'm going to stand here, arms straight, lock those elbows, and then lift the shoulders up to your earlobes. Now imagine sending the heads of your shoulder to the back of the room. No extension of spine, straight spine here. Lower to the back pocket, and then forward to the front pocket. And then up, back, down, and forward. So with your top arm bone, the humerus bone, we're trying to just create a rotational movement through the rotator cuff. And this is where the top of the bone sits right into the part of the shoulder blade. And that's what makes up the rotator cuff, top of the arm bone and the side of the shoulder blade. Okay. And this time we're going to go up, forward, down, and back, minimizing any rib cage movement or spinal movement if possible. Okay, good stuff. And we come back to neutral position. Lift the arms up straight ahead, or excuse me, to the side, straight up and to the side this way. And bend at the elbows. Tendency here is to kind of drop the elbows. So try and keep the elbows in line all the way, both sides. Hands stay straight. Also, the movement here causes the hands to kind of do this a little bit. So you want to keep the hands in line and then turn the arm down as much as you can. We all have an end range of motion. Once you get there, hold, and then open up. Find the end range of motion in the other direction without any flaring, and then down. This is where the hands do this typically. Keep the hands straight, go down as far as you can go, open it up, close it up, and drop the arms. Okay, I'm going to show you the same thing, but in just a variable on that movement. So here, you notice the arms are in line. I'm going to bring them to 45 degrees. So they're just a little bit forward, and then I do the same thing in this angle. Try not to drop the arm, so keep it here at elbow at shoulder height, and then we do one, and then we do the others. This can happen as well. So we're trying to avoid that. Come down, open, and then close. Notice how my arm just did that. So I'm going to try and keep it down. Range of motion. There we go. I'm stopping, and then I open, and let's try the other side. And when you get really good with this, you can hold weights and do the same thing to strengthen this area. Imagine we're holding weights or bottles of water or cans of food. Any of this type of stuff is so good for the shoulder. I've spent this last year, working on my rotator cuff to avoid surgery on the right side, and so far so good. I've avoided the knife. And then release and let that go. Okay, a little bit of light stretching now for the upper body. We tend to get really tight here, so we're going to stretch this out a little bit, and then I'm going to show you one of these awkward movements that I was talking about. Let's lift the arms up. We're going to grab onto the left wrist, plant the feet firmly, Extend the arms straight at the elbows and tip over to the right side. Let's just stretch this out a little bit to get started. Think about pressing the arms up so you're reaching up to the ceiling. Back to center, switch the wrist, and press the palm up so you get this long, long line of extension. Good stuff. One more time. Other side. Nice big stretch. One more through center. One more time this way. Okay, now you're going to bring the arms down. Take the right arm up and then left arm on top. So left hand on top of the right. The left hand presses down and the right hand presses up. Not too much tension, just enough that they stay together. Now from this position, I'm going to try and keep my hips locked, moving forward in line with my toes. And then from here, I'm just going to try and do some big circles. Any amount. You can lean forward a little bit, it's totally fine. Try and move and do some big circles. Pay attention to the range of motion and how you feel. Try and keep equal weight into both feet. Move it around a bit. Upper body movement, which is super important to isolate the upper body. So we just do a couple of these. I'm going in the, which way? I'm going counterclockwise. And I'm going to come back to neutral and switch the hands, the other one on top, and this time other direction, so I'm going clockwise. And pay attention to the range of motion that you've got. Move it around, nice big sweeping circle. I find this side easier a little bit for me than the other one. So about 3 or so, and then back to neutral position. Okay, now we're going to get just a little bit funky on this one. You're going to lift the right arm up, straight up, bend at the elbow, and try not to drop the elbow. So you're going to keep the elbow high. The arm is just going to hang, or the hand is going to hang in the back here. But what I'm going to do is just hold on to the elbow now with the other hand. Now from here, I'm going to tip over to the left side, maybe look up, get a bit of a stretch, a little bit more of a stretch, more intense in this position. And then come back to neutral and switch it up. Left arm back, and let's hold on to that left elbow. And let's stretch this out. Ooh, I'm feeling much tighter here. And this is really good because we're getting into the back of the arm. Come back to neutral position, wardrobe adjustment. 1 second, guys. My belly keeps hanging out here. Oh, terrible. 1 sec. Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay, a little bit better. Sorry about that. Okay, now I want to move and expand on this a little bit. This is kind of where that awkward movement comes in. Take the right arm up, hold on to the elbow, and this time you're going to do that same circle that we did before, but you're holding the elbow. Again, watch that and observe the range of motion. Spinal flexibility and movement is super good here. Big circle as much as you can. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You're just trying to make as big of a circle as you possibly can and still supporting your body weight. Okay, it's 3 times, and then we switch. So we do the other side. Let's see how this feels. So let's get that elbow high. Hold on tight to that elbow. And then let's move this way. And the more range of motion you have, the better. And then, of course, controlling this range of motion. And when you get really, really good at this and really strong at this, you're going to put on a vest, a weighted vest with like 20 pounds, and then you go up to 30, and then you wear a weighted vest with 50 pounds. It's quite amazing to do. Okay, and do one more. We come back to center position, and I'm going to do one more with you. We're going to give ourselves a little hug. Try and hold on to the back wings, shoulder blades right here. Hold on. Nice big squeeze, as best as you're able to do. If this is really challenging, lessen the grip a little bit and hold on to the arms at any location, okay? Otherwise, you're going to try and get back here all the way. Give yourself that big hug, and then we're circling. Slowly. Find your range of motion. All the way around. 3 times. And you come back to center, and then you go in the other direction. Keep giving yourself that big hug. Good stuff. And again, back to center position. Okay, good stuff, guys. Now, pelvic tilt movement, right through here. We want to be able to create a forward, which is the anterior, and then back, posterior pelvic tilt. That's the pelvis moving on top of the hip joint, not the leg moving in the hip joint. It's the pelvis. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit easier. I'm going to bend the knees slightly and just resting hands here onto my knees. There's no dumping of weight, just very light rest here. I don't even have to do that, but I'm just showing you how to get it started. Then you're going to arch your back. Stick your bum up, arch the back, lazy belly here. Take a nice big breath, and when you exhale, contract abdominal muscles. Pull your navel towards your spine, and then tuck your tailbone under, tailbone only. And then release, inhale, exhale. No dumping of the hands here, very light. So you should be able to do this without actually touching, but I'm just touching because it's a little bit easier. Okay, and then a few times here. And if this is really challenging for you at the beginning, just keep on doing it. Keep on practicing anterior, posterior pelvic tilt. And you're going to stand up, and I'm just in your mind, I'm going to try and create a visual for you of how we can better understand the concept of this pelvic tilt. So think about the pelvis this way as a round bowl, just like a salad bowl. The salad bowl is full of water. If I do an anterior tilt, I'm going to tip that water forward. If I tuck, I'm going to pull the water back. Okay, that makes sense. Think about a bowl, neutral position, dump the water out, pull the water back in. Dump it out, pull it in. Your mind's eye, that's what you're doing. You've got a bowl right here, nothing else moving. So you want to really isolate this pelvic movement. Okay, and then we'll do the last one. And you can practice that one on your own. You can even do that one on the floor. It's quite good. All right, we're going to take the right leg back. Just hold on to the right wrist. Take your right leg back. Now you're going to take your right leg behind you. Make sure you can see me. It's the best angle here. Like so, like this way, yeah? Okay, good. So I'm going to do it this way. The right arm goes forward, and now you're going to tip to the left. And then you're going to do that big sweeping motion again. Hold on to the wrist. Do it maybe 3, maybe 4, one direction. Arms are straight. And I go neutral, switch the hands, other direction. Let's do the best you can. Try and get as big of a sweeping motion as you can. Good stuff. Whew, back to center. Let's do the other side. Left leg goes back and then behind you. It's like a curtsy lunge. And then this time they hold on to the left wrist, arms up, and then over to the left side. The right side. Here we go. And then again, I lean forward, circle. Stuff. One more. Back through center, and I'm going to switch the wrist and then go in the other direction. One more. And here we go. And back through center. Okay, whew, good stuff. Have a little sip of water, gang. Always good to monitor how we feel in this stuff. Like if I'm feeling a little bit off shift and off balance, then I know I'm kind of leaking energy. So think about if our feet are not firmly planted when we're doing all those movements and you're kind of lifting and moving front to back. I can't really see you guys, so I don't know what you're doing. I'm just kind of speaking into thin air here. But if that's what's happening, you are leaking the strength underneath your feet because of all that funky movement. So we're trying to do all this upper body stuff, but stay really grounded and rooted into the floor. Okay. Let's do some really simple balancing type stuff. Lift your arms up, and then you're going to step back, step forward, and lift the leg up. Do that again. Slowly go back, step forward, and repeat. Up and back. You want to do this about 10 times. And notice what's happening if you can balance when you go front to back. Switch side to side here, front to back. And last one. Okay, I'm going to do the other leg. Turn around, arms up. Now, the arms, I find that sometimes when the hands are straight, this is kind of like yoga hands, but people that do mobility movement typically will not have their hands straight. They'll make fists, and that's pretty good too because it presses the arms straight. So try that, arms up, and make a fist so that the arms are straight. And then it's a hover. Think of that ninja-like movement. Ninja, land, and then up. Trying to get into a deep lunge and then come up. We do about 10 or so. Balancing, core control, really important. I'm not counting, so I'm just kind of going, just kind of winging it here. It's probably about 7. Do a couple more. One more. Up and hold. Okay, good stuff. Take a quick break. And let's get back into a little bit more balancing. We're going to bring your hands to your waist. Lift the right leg up. Turn the leg out. Bring the leg in. Balance, simple balance movement. Then you'll send the leg behind you. Make a circle. Try not to put the foot down. Full circle. The other thing I'm trying to do is not to lean forward too much. I'm trying to stand fairly tall here, squeezing everything, particularly when the leg goes back. Few circles in this direction. Look straight ahead, stand up tall. And then we'll go in the other direction. More outside to inside. And a couple more here. And I'm trying to do this slowly so that momentum doesn't kick in. I'm using muscle strength. Left leg up. Notice I'm trying to keep the knee roughly around hip height, not too high, not too low, and then go out to the side, back, front, and then we do a few of these. Try and open this up as much as you possibly can here. Our ability to move the leg through the hip socket and the pelvis through the hip socket is so important now, the other direction, gang. That's really what gives us a lot of mobility to separate the upper and lower body. One more. And back to center. Okay, a little bit of squatting movement. Take your feet just a bit wider. You can turn the feet out a little bit. Every body type is different, so I encourage you to play with this. Sometimes you can have the, let's say, right foot straight, left foot out, maybe both feet out, or left foot straight, right foot. You know, you can play with this a little bit to see what gives you the most mobility. Arms up, make fists. Try and keep the shoulders on top here as much as possible. And don't think about bending the knees, because if the knees shoot forward, it's not what we're after. This is going to be really troublesome for the knees and also for the ankle. Think about sending your hips back. So instead of bending your knees, think about sending the knees out and hips back. And then you squat as much as you can, and then you come up. Now look at where my arms are. I'm going to try and lift them even higher, and then do that squatting movement. So arms in line with torso. Another great way to do this, if you want to challenge yourself, is put your hands behind your ears and keep the elbows out. Don't bring them in. And then squat. Notice whether you're leaning forward or if you're staying upright. So if you start to lean forward, that's your end range of motion. If you start to lean, hold it there, go a bit more, and then eventually work your way lower. So go up and down a few times. Squat and then lift. Nice job. And then go back through that neutral position. Whew, okay, good stuff. We're going to take the legs a little bit wider. Turn your feet outward as much as you can. This in yoga is called goddess pose. I find this one really challenging as we try to really open up through the pubic space. So you think about opening up like a book here. Tendency when we bend our knees here is to shift everything forward. So we want to stay tall. And bring your hands behind your head. Keep the elbows back. And then you bend, and then you lift. And this time you're going to go to the side, back, left side, center, squat, stay down. And then again, right, center, left, center, stand up, tip to the right, come back through middle, left, keep those elbows back, torso tall, drop down, bend your knees, hold, side, center, side. Now we're going to stand up again. One more time. This way. This way. I'm going to bend your knees, stay here, and do some circles. Big, big circles as much as you can. Both directions. Back to center, stand up, and release. Okay, good stuff. We're going to come down onto the floor, gang. Bend your knees. I'm going to have just a little sip of water. Okay, let's get into tabletop position. Hands and knees. Point your toes. Hands come down. I'm going to send the right leg back. Lift the right leg a few times. And then you're going to send it to the left and tap. Then behind you. Then to the side. And then forward. Tap, 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 tap. Tap all the way through this range of motion. Little taps. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, good stuff. And switch. If the wrist gets sore, take the hands a little bit further to take the pressure off. Okay, otherwise, wrists underneath the, whoops, one sec. These little guys fall out of my ear all the time. One sec. Okay, other side. Left leg. lift from the heel so the leg is straight. And then I tap to the right, tap, tap, and then work my way, trying to take the leg all the way forward. Lift and tap. And lift and tap. Okay, and we'll do the last one. All right, we're gonna lift that right leg back again. Lift the leg up and bring it up and forward. Now I'm gonna turn so you can see me. And then you're going to come up and rise up. Good stuff. Be on the inside of that right foot. Inside edge. And then turn the foot out. So think about rolling the arch up, more pressure into the pinky toe side, lift the arms up, hold on to the left wrist, and then you're going to tip over to the left side. Oh, excuse me, right side. Oh, I said that with such confidence going in the wrong direction. Okay, right side. And now hold on to the right wrist, go to the left side, but keep your right foot firmly planted into the floor. So you're reaching away. And if you start to go a bit further, that foot's going to get light, so keep it down strong. Come back, switch. Left wrist, move to the right. Stretch it out, good stuff. Back to center, switch your wrists again. Come back to the left side, but this time do a circle. Got nice big sweeping circle. Your right foot is firmly planted, the top of your left foot behind you, and shin firmly planted for balance. Okay, we'll do about 3 of these. A lot of circles today. Back to center. Hold on to the left wrist. Come down to the right, and then circle this direction. Biggest sweeping circle you can do. Good stuff. And back to center. All right. Nice job, everyone. Put the left hand down onto the floor. The fingers facing away from you. Maybe lift the back leg up. Extend the right arm straight ahead. I'm going to do some side crunches. Elbow to knee. Crunch it out a few times. Crunch and crunch. Elbow to knee, about 10 of these. Activate the side body muscles here, the obliques. And here's 2 more. 1 more. Plant the foot down, come back. Nice neutral position. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to switch. Other side. Left leg goes out. Be on the inside of the foot. Now, this back foot here is flat. Then I'm trying to press the shin down, top of the foot down, toes down. You want to feel those toenails right into the floor. To hold you for balance position, roll the arch up. Place more weight on the pinky toe side of the foot. Okay, nice and tall here. Lift the arms up, hold on to the right wrist this time, and press the arms elbow straight, look up, and then you tip over to the left. Back to center, hold the left wrist, tip your body weight to the right. Challenge the movement. Back to center, switch, right to left. Back to center position, hold on to the left wrist. Tip other side. Now we're going to move in through those circles. Any amount of big sweeping circular motion that you can manage here with that left foot planted and top of the right foot and toenails planted. Big sweeping circle. Okay, back to center. Hold on to the right. Back through left side, circle it out. Nice big range of motion. Great job. One more. Come back to neutral. Right arm comes down. Lift the left leg up. Extend the left arm, look forward, take a big breath, and as you exhale, draw elbow to knee for this side crunch. Great job. How are we doing on time? Keep going. Let's check our time. Good stuff. Almost there. A couple more crunches. Last one. Maybe one more. And back to reset neutral position. All right, gang. We're going to do one more, get into the hips and a little bit of upper body rotation for today. And that'll be it for the day. So we're going to come down in a 90-90 leg position. So I'm essentially just bending both knees at 90 degrees. And try and turn the upper body forward to face forward. Flex both your feet so the feet are quite active here. Bring this front leg at 90 degrees, and then you're going to bend forward as much as you can. So shift your body weight chest forward. Try and come down all the way to the floor. Maybe even hold on to the leg if you like. Now I'm tilted off to one side because I'm so tight, so I'm trying to really stay upright as much as I can, or more neutral, and just try to lean forward. Get a nice stretch here into the lower back space. 90-90 leg position. And this is a nice lower back stretch here. Also gets into the outside of that left hip. And then I'm going to slowly come on up. Okay, keep the legs in this position. I'm just going to turn so you guys can see me. So from here, what I'm going to do is keep both knees down. Turn the rib cage to the left as far as you can go. You can support your body weight with this one arm and then turn. So the pelvis is staying neutral, but the rib cage is turning. So think about turning your breastbone to the left. Then turn your head to the left as far as you can go. So both the torso and the head and neck all turning to that left side. Even though your body may have stopped, keep that muscle internal engagement, that energy engaged, contracting as you keep turning the rib cage to the left. But now I want you to turn your head to the right. So keep the rib cage to the left and turn your head to the other side. Really good stuff here. Now you're going to lift that right arm up and reach behind you a little bit as much as you can. Again, awkward positions. Keep reaching back with that right arm, torso to the left, head to the right. And then come down, release, and take a quick break. Okay, from this position, I'm just going to sit back a little, bring both legs forward, but separate the legs, supporting my body weight with the arms behind me. Without doing anything, any other body movement, try and drop one knee in without doing any of this stuff. So don't move anything else. Just go as far as you can go. For me, this is about all I've got. I'm going to open and let the other side try and go in. Also pretty tight for me here. Do the best you can, trying to drop the knees into center. Go as far as you can go to test the range of motion without any other body part kicking in. So push, 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 push. Oh, then open it up and try the other side. I'm tight, but I'm going to keep on pushing. I've got muscle strength. And try and keep a calm face, not like mine all scrunching up. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but full motion as much as you can to try and bring. So what do you have to do to bring the knee down? For me, I got to do a whole bunch of funky movements. I got to turn like this. So I'm going to do it, get the internal range of motion, and then switch other side. But I'm trying to challenge myself, so it's not an easy movement. I'm trying to really stay as stiff as I possibly can, minimizing the other body parts. So I'm trying to just move through a range of motion with some strength. And then one more on this side. Try not to do it easy. There we go. Here it goes. Not too bad. And then back through center. And then this time we drop the legs to the right side and do 90-90 here. a nice series of movements. We can just kind of move from one to the other. Again, you're going to sit as upright as you possibly can, and then tip your upper body forward, bring the chest close to your leg, and maybe close to the floor, and let's stretch this out. So right upper hip is where you want to feel this, and maybe even into your lower back a little bit. Keep bringing the chest down. You can even reach the arms forward if you like. I'm leaning on my right elbow just to keep me supported, as long as you feel a nice stretch in the back. Great job, everyone. And then slowly come on up. We're going to try and sit as upright as you can, and let's move the entire rib cage to the right side turning, turn, and then the head turns to the right as well. Everything turning to the right. Good stuff. And when you can't go anymore, then the head turns to the left, opposite direction. Energetically, keep turning your head to the left as you move your rib cage to the right. So we're separating all the body parts in their various positions. Now the left arm goes up. I'm looking to the left. Left arm goes up and behind me. Pull the right shoulder back. Left arm up and open. Torso turning to the right. And then last one. And bring it all back to neutral position. All right, we're going to move just into a quick tabletop position, hands and knees, wrists underneath the shoulders, and the knees underneath your hips. Point your toes, and do some slow circles in one direction. And then we're going to go into the other direction. And then we're going to finish off with a series of cat-cow movements that we do quite often in yoga for spinal articulation, again, for separation of the spine vertebra. Come into center position. Think about your pelvis as that bowl of water. Let's dump the water out. Anterior frontal tilt. Lift your head up. Nice big breath. When you tuck your chin under, you're going to press the floor away at the same time and then pull that water back. There goes the AirPods again. Oh my gosh. And move through the cat-cow movement, spinal segmentation. You release at one end and work your way up to the other end. Do the last one. And we are good to go. All right, gang. That's our mobility class for today.